So good morning. Many thanks for the invitation to talk here a little bit about reuse. Reuse is an important topic in our agency. You already introduced us. Many thanks. Very nice. So we are 140 people are focusing on digital marketing, digital design. We are working for bigger brands to transform them from the offline world to the digital world and make their brands alive in a digital environment. And of course, reuse is a very important topic there for us. So we are discussing the topic permanently as a company, selling ideas, selling creativeness. We are permanently faced with the thing, should we copy that? Is it too close to another idea which was already there? So reuse is an interesting topic, and I want to give you some insights what is our position on that topic. First of all, reuse is a combined word out of re and use, and if you take use, that's the thing our customers and their customers want to do with our stuff. They want to get, at the end, profits out of the stuff we are doing. They want to use our creations to sell more, and also the end consumer who is using the products and often at the end want to use the stuff, want to have fun with it, want to consume it. So if you look on that, it's pretty much the description of the word. And if you put now the Latin prefix before it, it's something different. It means just to use something existing, adjust it, give it a special treatment, process it a little bit, and get something totally new out of it. And now we have to a little bit clarify, does we understand also for our later discussion, does reuse mean copying things? Does reuse mean adjusting stuff? Or is it also recycling, taking something which was forgotten, which was there before, and make something new out of it, something very positive in our very sustainable world? Yeah. So let's take some examples. So here we have the typical iPhone calculator design, which is, I would say, a pretty well reuse of the Dieter Rams Braun calculation design. Yeah. And I think it's very nice that we have that today on our iPhone. It could be recycling in my point of view. They used something which was forgotten, the design nobody's using anymore from Braun, and they made the calculator out of it. I think it's a very nice design, and it's what we are favoring today a lot, the Apple design. Oh, another Apple design again. And I think it's another wonderful sample how they reused an existing design. Yeah? But if you ask today our customers, what do they want? Yeah, do it like Apple style. Yeah, and I say, oh, should we do it the Ram style, or is it then the Ulm style or the Bauhaus? Oh, but Gropius copying it from the Japanese guys. So they reuse the architecture. So it's kind of a permanent reuse, and it's something. The result is pretty awesome, and it's good. Another Apple. They're copying everything. And luckily they're doing that. Yeah? It's a wonderful reuse again from Dieter Rams. Yeah? Somebody seems to love that stuff and you reuse it very well. And they copy it pretty shameless. They take the music player, an historical one, and adjust it. Wonderful reuse in my point of view from a creative idea. And if you ask the guy who was behind that design, he says, we have always been shameless about stealing great ideas. Yeah, it's pretty much what it is. Yeah? They also talk openly about that. So how do we as an agency who sells idea and our customers always want something completely new, what are we doing with that topic? Is it a concept which is failing, or is it something we should follow? In our point of view, everything is a kind of evolutionary process. Yeah? So we are developing the stuff which is already there today to a higher level. And if you look on history, who was focusing on the topic, who discovered that concept basically, it was Darwin, and he was discovering that also nature is kind of reusing concepts all the time. Yeah, so most of the mammals are using the eye system to get visual information, and all have kind of the same system installed. Yeah, also nature is copying all the time. Let's take a deeper look on what is the concept nature is using to reuse things. I have a very popular topic there, cats. Yeah, and if you take a look on how cats are reusing their design in a lot of different ways, you see that in the savannah, the lion is fighting for food there, but then nature or God noticed, oh, the snow area is not covered with a fighting animal yet, so let's use our cat design there, adjust it a little bit, and we get also the food occupied there. And so basically all regions on Earth, also our flats, are today covered with that animal. Yeah? So it's kind of a perfect design. Also Apple used that again. Yeah? But so it shows pretty well how nature is using the concept of reusage. For what? To occupy food resources. And the way now for every other animal design, it's very difficult to get into the savannah to fight for meat, because the lion is sitting there already on the meat, and it's very difficult for another design to get the meat away from the lion. So I think it's a very wonderful design reusage in nature to occupy food resources. And it's very similar because we want to occupy the pockets of our consumers. Yeah? That's our kind of food in the modern world. And let's take a look on the gas station. Yeah? There you always have this wonderful sweet bar. Yeah? And I want to show you a little bit how we apply designs there today on the sample of chocolate. Yeah? You see directly that the chocolate bars on a very prominent area. Yeah? And you see the market leader is on the higher row. It's in Germany, it's Rittersport. Yeah? They have a kind of a market share compared to Milka, who is the competitor, of about 55%. I leave now a lot of Kinder chocolate and so on out. And about 45% of Milka there below. Yeah? That's why Rittersport has is on the higher level. Both are using the idea of selling 100-gram chocolate at gas stations. It's a kind of the same basic design behind, but Rittersport is the chocolate for jars, for people who love to bite chocolate. Yeah? So and Milka, yeah, is the chocolate, yeah, people love to suck. Yeah? So who is using Milka? And that's the main difference. Yeah, they have the same tastes. Yeah, they have both Halbbitter, they have both nougat, they have both something with some cookies in it. But the concept is chocolate 100-gram bar, but adjusted now for a different target group, for a different food occupation, basically. And both are very divergent concepts. Yeah, so they are going for the people who love to bite chocolate, not competing with Milka at all. So it's very difficult to convince a Milka user to go to Rittersport because he doesn't like the way it feels in the mouth, and because the sucker prefers the Milka, so they are kind of coexisting. Yeah, so it's not a fighting between two brands. It's an and. Both are working together. And they have a nearly 100% market share about chocolate for people who love to bite, and they for people who love to suck chocolate. So it's with this. The difference is the design, and the creativeness there is the insight that there are two different kind of peoples on the earth to how they use chocolate, how they want to experience chocolate. And so you can reuse an existing concept. One was the first, of course, and adjust that and be extremely successful because you are getting a totally new target group, a totally new market out of it. The same with Red Bull. They also kind of reused the concept of sugar water in a can, but just by adding the idea of saying it's an energy drink, they occupied a totally new segment. They occupied a totally new marketing design category, product design category, and got extremely successful with it. And to go in such a divergent strategy has an extremely positive effect, because there have been over hundreds and hundreds of attempts to attack Red Bull and get a second version to create a Me Too of an energy drink, and nearly all on the globe failed. So if you want to create a new energy drink and you do the same, you take the typical can and you put another label on it, the chance to fail goes to 100%. Because there is already the lion sitting on the meat defending his position. So let's take so it's the perfect way, it's their creativeness adding a lot of value for the customer in the moment when you discover for him a kind of food resource, because then you also get a perfect defense in the same moment. If you take vitamin water, which is getting introduced in Germany soon, they took the concept of a functional drink, sugar water in a can plus a functionality on it, but they're adding now another term. They're adding speed, they're adding hangover, they're adding afternoon, they're adding mornings and so on, and getting a lot of areas occupied by them, which is pretty smart, I think. So the divergence is paying off, but the Me Too not. That making the difference in today's world and reusage. If you're making a real difference in a thing, if you're occupying a new food resource, or if you are just a Me Too. Because if you're going for a Me Too strategy, the chance of failing is extremely high. If you create something new out of it, the chance of winning something the chance is very high. And that's what we are using in our agency. We call it creative pragmatism. On the one side, adding strong ideas, wonderful ideas, combined on things which is applicable, which is usable, which is loved by the users. So just to create something totally new, never seen before, it's a pretty bad concept, because the chance that you never find your spot to get some food is extremely high. So we think reusage is a fantastic concept if it's applied in a divergent, smart way. If you look now on the web, there are trillion websites, and originality is a very, very rare thing on the web. So everything has been already seen there before, and to create something completely new needs there also always a momentum. So if you think about when new stuff is coming to the digital world, it's always something which is getting onto a big PR topic. Like the Apple introduced the iPhone and added the apps. The whole idea of apps was something totally new, to combine the desktop application together with the iTunes download mobile version, and you got something totally new out of it. But they used also the momentum of the introduction of this wonderful smartphone. So when you think about introducing something totally new, you have to build it on something who has already a high momentum. So reuse has nothing to do with creativity, you could ask, but in our point, it's exactly the contrary. So reuse needs high creativity to discover these insights, to discover the food resources. So all the time our customers expecting to creating something totally new, never seen before, but they also expect that we're creating it on on components which are already there. Because otherwise, typically, it's impossible to get it used at the end, because people want to see something they already know in big portions. That's basically my message in this whole speech. The whole speech I had is mainly, or in big parts, a reuse out of the book, The Origin of Brands from Al Ries. It's a wonderful book explaining this divergent concept. And I say many thanks again for the option to talk here. and waiting now for your questions. Many thanks.